first player here at the top right. He's our blue Protoss, playing for Alpha X. Make some noise for Classic.
And his opponent spawning in the bottom left-hand corner as the red Protoss, also from Alpha X. Give it up for Astrea.
And look at this unbuildable rocks. He also spawns for Alpha X. Everyone's spawning for Alpha X. Nah, just kidding.
We're gonna have to wait and see what the rocks do this game, you know?
Do you smell what the rock is cooking? Alright, a little bit of a kind of a cheeky pro block. Of course, both players making sure they can delay the natural of their opponent for as long as possible. But interestingly enough, there is a one gate coming out of Classic, and there's also another one gate from Astrea, but his is actually built in the low ground. So we do have a little bit of a similar opening in terms of one gate by both of these players. But of course, one of them in the low ground while the other is in the high ground.
Yeah, the two players are already sort of diverging, right? We've got Classic going for the Stargate before the low ground Nexus, whereas his opponent Astrea is opting to spend his gas on a Sentry following up after the Zealot. So already, you know, Astrea, he will actually scout the Stargate. Looks like he will even confirm that it is an Oracle coming out. So this is actually a really good scout from Astrea. But yeah, I think that all in all, it seems like he's a little bit behind in tech. But yeah, we do see the shield battery going down as well, so he should be fine for now.
Yeah, at the very least, some nice good scouting by both of these players. By the way, if you guys don't know who that was that just left, it's our Spanish caster for today. Unfortunately, it looks like he has some problems or some issues. Hopefully, he will be back for us in the second game. But in the meantime, this Oracle will go ahead and fly across the map. This hallucinated Phoenix does get sight of this, so it looks like Astrea should be in good position to deny this.
Oh, that Oracle getting pretty low. Oh, okay, the Stalker does end up taking it out, but not before 3 probes do actually go down. Hallucinated Phoenix is going to come out and, you know, check on the probe count. Also, I believe the Twilight Council was scouted, so both players going for the Twilight. This is going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, now Classic definitely does not want to lose a second Oracle because, you know, losing one Oracle in the early game is it's quite sad enough, but losing 2 is going to be quite depressing. So, I mean, of course, those Oracles can be used as harassments throughout the whole game, and also to just keep tab of your opponent, and maybe even some stasis wards. We do sometimes see, you know, some Protosses play stasis wards because they have a shield battery in the mineral line, so, you know, pulsar beam not quite as effective, so they, you know, tend to do a place a static trap while like some action is happening across the map as a distraction. So we might see this in this game here.
Yeah, definitely. Oracles, they're just, you know, so utility heavy. That's why they're favored at the top levels. That's why they're favored by pretty much any Protoss that has the micro potential for it. Now, I love watching high-level PvP games because you just get such a variety of styles, right? So we you know, for example, Astrea coming into the main, using 4 Stalkers to actually pick off a decent chunk of probes, and just blinks right back onto the low ground. Vision being provided by the Hallucinated Phoenix. At the same time, though, the Oracle does come back in, picking off 4 more probes. But these Stalkers from Astrea are starting to do some decent damage, right? The Adepts also in the natural, now shading into the main, causing a lot of trouble for Classic right as his blink finishes up. So all in all, this was pretty good, right? 9 probes going down for Classic. Not good for him, I'm sorry, but good for Astrea, who, on the other hand, only lost 4 probes, I believe.
Yeah, so a total of 12 probes going down. Oh, it looks like 13. Some more probes going down, it seems like, for our red Protoss. Looks like the Orgo did come in here into the dirt once again. So let's see here. 13 probes total going down for Astrea and 10 going down for Classic. But we gotta keep note that Orgo is still alive, so he can very well dive into the mineral line once again. It looks like Classic, does he have? Yeah, he has Blink, so it looks like he is going to go ahead and start putting on some pressure. This Observer does catch eye on this, so looks like he will respond in time. We'll keep an eye out on that Oracle, though, in the meantime. But, ooh, actually, Classic being very, very ballsy here.
Yeah, a pretty decent force field, but I don't think it's going to help all too much, right? Because the Stalkers from Classic are just going to keep on blinking. They're going to go into the main. Astrea with some pretty good blink micro to counter the Stalkers, but they are going to blink out to the low ground, and the majority, about half of them, are going to escape after taking down 5 more probes. So that was, I mean, like I said, right, like high-level micro. I'm just a huge fan of this.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit quite surprised that Classic decided to go in, because it did seem like Astrea did have a decent amount of Stalkers, and I mean you gotta keep in mind that, you know, there's our shield batteries in the mineral lines as well. So I don't know, there's a little bit of a questionable decision there, I would say, by Classic, and now he finds himself quite decently below in terms of the supply.
Yeah, that is correct. I mean, we do see that Astrea does actually have the Immortal. Now, again, going back to the utility of the Oracle, right? Able to tag the Stalkers, but now Classic is going to try and contest the 4th base of Astrea. Will he be able to do it? We do see some force fields coming out, but I mean, like you said, the Stalker count for Astrea might be too great. Although, a huge warp-in of charge lots. I love this proxy gateway hidden right behind Astrea's 4th base. So the Zealots are going to give the rest of the Stalkers a little bit of room to breathe for now. The Immortal, okay, it does actually go down, and yeah, it looks like Astrea is going to be turned away just for the time being.
Yeah, a little bit of a close fight, but I think it looks like the charge lot might be the X factor here, being very effective against the Immortals as well as the Stalkers. I would love to see Astrea warp in some additional charge lot himself to help this, but it looks like Classic will be taking down that dirt before heading on out. And looks like Classic, after a quite a little bit of a shaky start, taking that risk there earlier, it looks like he's trying to crawl himself back, and he might be able to do so, but a lot of big micro here in this clash. Who will come out on top? It looks like Astrea will, with his additional reinforcements, finally maybe clean this up.
Yeah, I mean, the charge lot warp-ins are pretty relentless, but so are the Stalker reinforcements for Astrea, right? And now that the Immortal is coming into play, Astrea is going to take game number 1. Alright, so it looks like both players are going to mirror each other, essentially, right? Going for the low ground pylon and the low ground gateway. I found it pretty interesting how, you know, you can choose to place your buildings on the low ground, or you can just keep them on the high ground. Both have their benefits, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think specifically on this map, it's more common to see one gate low ground, just because the natural area, the natural ramp, is quite easy to wall off. So you do see a lot of Protosses in PvP deciding to go for that opening. Of course, you do have to deal with the potential that your opponent will block off your natural with like a pylon. But looks like both of these players are actually not going to go for that. Not going to go ahead and try to deny their opponent's natural. Instead, we do see a little bit of a cheeky probe from Astrea in the top center, moving to the top right. Classic following behind that with his probe on the top left, trying to scout around.
Yeah, what a far proxy. This is essentially whatever you build here is going to be all the way across the map. I love it. So it looks like both players are going to be building their Stargates at home. I'm so curious, what is Astrea's probe in the top right-hand corner for? Is this going to be like a proxy something?
You know what? I'm going to call it. I think it's going to be a proxy DT shrine.
Ooh, okay. I like where this is going.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
So, like, both of these players open up with the Stargate, so you would never really expect a Protoss to open up Stargate and transition to DTs. Usually the more common transition will be into maybe Blink or into Robo. So sometimes you can catch your opponent off guard by switching to DTs. But of course the Oracles will provide detection. So it's not usually the best choice. But I think because Astrea likes to play that mind games, he's going to try to meta Classic into thinking, yeah, he's not going to go into... he's not going to think that I'm going to go for DT. So there we have it. Twilight Council.
Not only that, but Astrea going for the gold base as his natural expand. I love it. I love it. Whatever Astrea does, I love it.
Oh, man. Astrea just doing Astrea things.
Yeah, definitely. Question is Classic going to be able to get a full scout off? It doesn't look like that's the case. Astrea does have the defensive void ray, which is actually very smart, right? The Oracle will not be able to confirm whether or not there is a natural nexus. And I guarantee you, like, if I were playing against Astrea, well, first off, I would, like, guarantee a loss, right? But aside from that, I look and I don't see a natural nexus. I'm freaking out already.
Yeah, same here. I play Protoss, and if I was in his shoes, I would also freak out too. But actually, it looks like Astrea is not going to go for DT. He's going to go straight into Blink. So he is going to go ahead and try to build up his army and try to force Classic to play defensively. And while in the same time, he try to mine off of that gold base. But it looks like Classic does scout this out. We'll go ahead and put on some pressure.
And it is so easy to underestimate Oracles. Their DPS is actually quite high, so they are forcing these Stalkers back. Shield battery is not done. Okay, it does finish in time for the last Stalker remaining. Oh! Okay, Classic scouts the proxy as well. Nothing is getting past our Red Protoss today.
Yeah, he is being quite active with his units thus far, but looks like with Big Daddy Void Ray coming in, he will go ahead and try to retreat for the time being, but he at least knows what's up. He at least understands why Astrea doesn't have a natural base at the regular natural position, of course, but yeah, looks like Astrea, I think he should be able, I mean, since he has hold, really, I don't think there's a lot that Classic can do. Maybe he can put on some pressure, but with the shield battery up there, I think Astrea might get away with this.
Yeah, that is what it seems like, at least for now. I'm wondering why Astrea is not producing more probes. Like, what exactly... Okay, real quick, Classic, huge stasis ward in the main base of Astrea, catching basically all of those mineral probes. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
At the same time, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest stasis ward that I have seen in quite some time.
Yeah. At the same time, Classic's DT Shrine is just about to finish up. He did warp in a couple of DTs. I don't exactly know where, but Astrea is trying to do some damage. He will find it. This Void Ray has dealt some damage. It will finally go down, but the remaining Stalkers are going to deal quite a little bit of damage, actually. So this is a little bit of trouble for Classic in his main. He does have 2 DTs walking across the map for now, but yeah, this is... What a fancy game already, right? Like, so many different things have happened already.
Yeah, I was just like, who needs probes? I mean, all I need is a bunch of Stalkers and DTs and a gold base as well. And it looks like Classic is slowly but surely falling apart. He tried to get his own gold base, but his gateways were... It's actually 2 of them are still unpowered, and Oh man, things are looking quite dire for our red Protoss as Astrea rampages through the natural with his stalkers.
Yeah, this is a very high stalker count, but at the same time, Classic does have 32 probes, and Astrea is trying to survive off of 18 for now. But yeah, if these stalkers can continue doing good damage, then there is a chance that Astrea can claw himself back into the game. But his own gold base has been essentially taken care of by this DT. There's a DT at the front of the natural as well, taking care of that full wall. So now it's going to be onto Astrea to, keep microing his stalkers well and make sure that he can get as much damage in as possible.
Yeah, my apologies, guys. For some reason, I thought it was Astrea that was the one with the DTs, but actually it's going to be Classic. And here we go. Looks like Astrea going to go ahead and try to punish Classic for going for DTs. Because of course, with going for DTs, that means less gas and investments into those stalkers. Instead, they're into those DTs. So Astrea right now, let's see what's the numbers here. Yeah, he's currently has a 16-9 stalker advantage, and he's trying to utilize that. And he's definitely going to have to, because right now he's essentially on one base versus the 3 bases of Classic.
Man, I love how Astrea just has a pylon to the south, to the right of Classic's main base. Like, what a random pylon, but I mean, it's so useful, right? So, okay, here we go. We see the stalkers coming up into the natural base, trying to snipe whatever they can. There is a shield battery here. Oh, but it will not be targeted onto the pylon in time. So, yet another depowering for Classic, and this is a little bit dire for him. I mean, Astrea is just going to keep on warping in more and more stalkers. The 2 oracles are going to come all the way around to the back, trying to see whatever they can pick off in terms of probes. And ooh, this is really, I mean, this is still anyone's game, I guess, but like, wow.
Yeah, it's still anyone's game, but there is a ticking clock for Astrea. He's definitely going to need to utilize his army advantage right now, but looks like nope. Looks like Classic will go ahead and hold his defenses. Classic, he ties up the series 1-1. All right, Destined One saying in the live chat saying, I don't think DTs are as effective as they used to be. Games used to end quickly with early DTs, but people can survive them better now. And yeah, I agree. There are multiple. I think now there are multiple ways for detection, so it's harder to make them as effective, but they have been, I would say, they have been used more often just because of that blink upgrade, the blink DT upgrade. Because before a long time ago, there wasn't the blink upgrade for DTs, but of course Blizzard added it as a way for them to have Protoss players use them as harassment in the later games, or in the late stage of the game. And I think because of that, a lot of Protosses has at least chosen to go for them. Now, of course, the effectiveness, whether it's better or worse, it's up to debate. But yeah, I guess that could be something to be looked into, of course.
I remember one time I was playing a PvP against a friend for fun, and they went for, like, blink stalkers, pretty standard. I went for zealots plus DTs, and every single time I get a surround on the zealots, and then I blink the DTs into the back, and I get a full surround on the stalkers. Ooh, that's the best feeling ever. But anyways, back to this game, we do see Classic getting a little bit aggressive at the front, not putting down a low ground nexus just yet. His opponent does have a Stargate, as well as a natural expansion. Classic, of course, is just going to keep on pumping out stalkers, so this will be a 3-gate opening. And it looks like Classic is committed. I mean, he's got the pylon up front, as well as the 2 shield batteries, so I think, yeah, Classic is looking to end this game pretty quickly.
Yeah, he is kind of pulling out a build like from, it feels like from parting or something. It's like he is going super aggressive, and he is committing so much to taking down this board rate, and it will be unsuccessful. Astrea, he's going to take an easy game 3. Well, being that this is the kind of the match points potentially for Astrea, I would expect Classic to kind of play a standard. He has gone for some cheeky openings, as we did see in the last game. Hasn't quite worked out. So, yeah, it looks like he will go ahead and play it normally. Opening up with 2 gate this time as well. So, the standard Protoss opening. However, Astrea looks to be up to no good.
Man, I love this proxy location. Pretty much right under Classic's nose, right? Of course it is a huge risk, but at the same time, it's kind of like when, Maru does a proxy 3-racks, and he does it right in the middle of the map against the Zerg opponent. It's like, yeah, it's such an obvious location that they would never check it, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
We do see that proxy Stargate. I love it.
Oh, man. And Classic looked like he was trying to go for a proxy himself. But
right.
With the scout, he's like, okay, something's up. Maybe I shouldn't proxy. Maybe I should just build back at home and make sure I'm safe.
Yeah, that is a pretty smart move. I do like that. But I mean, Astrea with the shield battery as well. So, what do you think? Are we gonna see a Void Ray all in? Is that what's coming up?
Oh yeah, I think this has got to be a Void Ray all in. I mean, there's a reason that shield battery's up. You gotta make sure you heal up your Void Rays. So yeah, it looks like Void Rays will be the tech of choice. But Classic, he's like not waiting for it. He's just going straight across the map.
I don't know how to feel about this. Astrea's Adept is going to get in a lot of pretty good damage, prevent a lot of mining time. Are the probes... Okay, I was just about to say, if they're pulled to an extent and they can actually see the proxy on the low ground, but I don't think that vision, the vision range is great enough. Now, Classic does have a couple of Stalkers at the front, putting some pressure at the front, but at the same time, Astrea, his Void Ray is out. His Void Ray is about to deal some major damage, depowering the 2 gateways and the cyber core, and oh, this is looking all sorts of bad for Classic. This could be game. This could be the series right here.
Yeah, if he can kind of defend for the time being, but no, there is a second Void Ray. I don't think the shield battery is coming up, and so this is it. Classic. All he has is his Void Ray and Stalkers across the map, and he is gonna have to make do with what he's got. Oh man, this has turned out to be quite a strange game. But oh, look at that! There is a shield battery here at the natural for Astrea, which makes it kind of delay the death of his main base. But as you can see in Classic's base, his mineral line is being ravaged right now. Oh my goodness, what game is this?
Oh my gosh. Okay, a third Void Ray coming in for Astrea. They're gonna burn down these probes way quicker than one Void Ray will. Now, these 2 Stalkers by Classic are being microed pretty intensely, so they are actually doing a very good job of making sure that the, Stalkers stay alive. Oh, but that one Stalker does actually get trapped. Now, in Classic's favor, there are 2 Void Rays here to join up with that last Stalker, so, oh my gosh, probes are just going down everywhere. This is a bloodbath. I don't know what to make of this game.
Now it has just come down to who can kill each other's building the quickest. However, oh, actually, you know what? Never mind. I thought I thought Astrea was ahead in the Void Ray count, but looks like both of these players are actually equal in terms of Void Rays. But actually, Classic, he's got an extra Stalker. Will that make a difference? Oh man, I think this. Oh my god!
No way! Classic wins the recall fight and takes this game, takes the series to a game number 5. Oh man.
So, being that this is the last game, the question is, will one of these players take that extra bit of risk and go for something a little bit more cheeky, or we'll just play it standard and play it safe? Thank you, by the way, for our Spanish caster for hosting us. Pobla, sorry if I butchered your name, but thank you for the host, and welcome all from the Spanish stream.
Alright, so it looks like both players are mirroring each other yet again, both going for the double Stargate opening. I'm sorry, double Gateway opening. Double Stargate, ooh. But of course, Classic also putting down a proxy pylon. So I don't know if this might be a map-specific type of thing, or just because both players are trying to be extra safe / aggressive. What do you think? Is there a reason why they're not putting down the Nexuses, or is it just coincidence?
You know, because this map has that little mineral line thingy blockage, where if you kind of mine it out with the probe, it doesn't make it creates a entryway, so that going from one natural to the other natural is actually quite quick if you can mine out the mineral patch. So I think both of these players are like, okay, you know what, play a bit safe, play a bit more defensively. Not going to go ahead and risk it with the early Nexus. I'm going to go ahead and just play it with a 2-gate opening. However, one of these players are going for a 2-gate blink, while the other one is going for a 2-gate robo.
I am a simple player. If I had a choice between Blink and Immortals, I would still go for Immortals. Alright, so Classic's first 2 Stalkers are going to scout that there still is no Nexus. Maybe not what he expected. That Robo is just about to finish its first Immortal, however, so immediately Classic is going to have a much higher, well, not higher, but like a beefier army. Now these 2 Adepts from Astrea are trying to poke around, see what they can find. They are not going to attempt to go up into the main, and even if they did, they are going to try to shade up, but they will see that there is indeed a full wall. Astrea also going for a proxy pylon himself. Now at the same time, Classic is here. 4 Stalkers and an Immortal are ready. Immediately going to gun down that first Cyber Core blockage. And they're actually going to get the pylon, right? Oh no, they're going to go straight for the Stalkers. A War Prism is here. You know, you have your discount blink that way. Probes are pulled off the line. So far, decent micro, right? We do see the repowering of the gateways, but Classic is going to take this game. Astrea not quite able to break through.